Hey, if you're like me, most of your prayers probably follow a pretty predictable routine. Most all of us pray the same types of prayers. We pray for things that directly impact us or those closest to us. If we're not careful, our prayers can sort of devolve to the point where it's all, bless me, protect me, help me, comfort me, and keep me safe. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with those kind of prayers, but normally when you pray, if you're like me, you're praying and you're asking Jesus to do something for you. You're asking Him to answer your prayer. But what if it was different? What if instead of asking Jesus to answer our prayer, we instead tried to answer one of His prayers? I know that sounds strange, but I want you to hang with me. On the last night of Jesus' earthly life, He pulled away from the crowd, He pulled away from His disciples, and He sort of separated Himself from the crowd, and He went to spend some time in prayer. And if you go to John 17, you can read about three things in particular that Jesus prayed for. First, He prayed for strength to finish His mission. He knew that what was going to happen the next day with the crucifixion was going to be incredibly difficult to endure. So He prayed that God would give Him the strength to endure that. And secondly, He prayed for protection for His disciples. He knew that when the soldiers stormed the garden to arrest Him, that it was possible that they might go after His disciples. But then you get down to verse 20 of John 17, and Jesus prays not for His disciples, but for all of the people that would one day follow Him in the future. He was praying for you and I. And I want you to listen to what He prays for. This is from John 17, verse 20. Jesus says, "My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message," talking about us, "that all of them may be one, Father. Just as you are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one, so that they may be brought to complete unity. Then the world will know that you sent me and have loved them even as you loved me." Of all the prayers that Jesus prayed, that's the only prayer that I can find in the Bible that you and I have the ability to try and answer. But if you look around the world today, we're not doing a very good job. And the reason it's so important that we actually try to answer is because of the reason Jesus said He was praying that in the first place, so that the world would believe that God had sent Him. But the opposite of that seems to be true in our world. Rather than unity, the division and the disruption and the disunity that you see on every corner keeps us from fulfilling our mission. And if you look around, we fight about the craziest stuff, especially in churches. You look around, there are hundreds of different churches. All of them have different labels. We have churches fighting not just other churches, but fighting amongst themselves about the silliest stuff. People that should love each other spend more time throwing bombs at each other than they do encouraging one another. Fight over music styles, we fight over Bible translations, denominational labels, we fight over political candidates, we fight over dress preferences. It's just this never-ending list of things that we like to fight over. In Galatians 5, the Apostle Paul warned us what would be the result of that. He said, "If you bite and devour each other, watch out, or you will be destroyed by each other." And I don't know how you feel about it, but as I look around, in many ways, I think we're living at least part of that out. It seems that we're bent on destroying one another rather than rallying together for a common cause. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are some things that you and I can do that can help us at least attempt to answer the last prayer that Jesus prayed the night before He was arrested. First thing, we can pray for unity. Last Sunday, we challenged our folks here at FCC to engage in what we're calling our 100 days of prayer. Pray for one person a day, one opportunity a day. And then at the end, we want you to pray that we would all be one family, that we would not allow the things that divide us to pull us apart, but that we would come closer together. The other thing you have to do is you have to work toward unity. And that can be hard sometimes because there's all sorts of different opinions about different topics, but we have to work towards it. So we refuse to gossip about one another. We refuse to tear each other down. We refuse to throw bombs at one another, even on social media. We refuse to discourage one another. All of that's important. So you pray for unity and you work toward unity. And then lastly, you need to stay engaged. Now I know that disagreements are a part of any relationship. We're talking about a marriage, a friendship, a church relationship. There's always disagreements, but disagreements don't necessarily have to lead to division. You have to stay engaged with the family. Now, unity does not mean uniformity, and everybody has a right to their opinion, but we can all be one family. This coming Sunday, we're kicking off a new series at First Christian. We're calling United We Stand. And over the next 8 or 9 weeks, we're going to talk about some of those things that we should all rally around. There's a lot of things we disagree about, but as followers of Jesus, there's some really important things that we should agree on. And we should be that those things that we agree on outweigh the things that we disagree on. So I want to encourage you, if you don't have a church home or if this is your church home, we'd love to see you this week as we start to build toward this unity that's so desperately needed. And if we'll do those things, if we'll pray for unity, if we'll work toward unity, and if we'll stay engaged, it could be that we can move a little closer to answering the prayer of Jesus in John 17.